This 1996 Tangerine Orange Mustang GT had been sitting since 2007, and somebody rescued it and is getting ready to bring it back to life and clean it up. You can see it looks a lot better with a wash and a cleanup, and they started doing some paint correction and buffing, and so that it was actually coming back pretty good. It's going to take a lot of time, but they're doing a lot of good work with it, so I thought that was fun to see. I'm very happy whenever I see one of these cars saved. These are so rare. One of 829 made in this color, and the breakdown goes even more rare than that when you consider a coupe or the color interiors and stuff like that. Convertibles even more rare, and we'll talk about one here in a second. I just decided that this would probably be a good time to look through some of these pictures of this car, and then I'll also show some pictures of some more Tangerine Orange Mustangs I came across. I just got kind of into a mood of looking through these, and in the fall time I love looking at these cars and remembering them and watching the videos that I've made in the past about them. And I think they're very special cars, and it's just fun to look through. So I thought maybe we'll look at this one. It looks like it's coming back pretty good. I mean, I'm sure it needs a paint job, but we'll keep looking here. And then there was one that was actually in the museum, and this is the Mustang Museum of America in Alabama, and you can see it there. Here's a really cool picture of it. It has some 99 to 04 Mustang GT wheels on it. But really cool to see there. Definitely deserves to be there. It's next to this Mystic Cobra. And so fun to see those cars there. And I did talk about Clyde, who owns this convertible Mustang GT. And he had a coupe as well. And so that's really neat to see him with both of these cars. And my friend was in Michigan at a car show, and he actually saw the car. And here it is. And he had this plaque banner here. It says only 29 in 1996, and so this one optioned with the white interior is one of 29, and that's just like the one that I knew growing up here in southern Utah, and so that's why it's a very special car to me. And so you can see he even has orange in the seats, and my friend said he had actually talked to him, and Clyde talked about how much he put some good money into that car. And the one here in town even had orange put in the inserts of the seats as well. So that's pretty rare, one of 29 of those, and we know 2 of them have had the seats redone with orange. And so this is the one that I knew growing up, and if you looked at the seats on this one, you would see that they also have the center section redone in orange, so just a little bit different, but it's kind of interesting to see that white interior and then the orange in the seats, and now there's 2 of them like that. So here's another one that belongs to my friend, I believe. He hasn't really said much to me about it, but I'm pretty sure this is his new Mustang. So that's pretty cool to see. And I just thought I'd go through and start looking. This one was really special to me because it has those C stripes on it. And that looks like the car that I knew growing up here in town. That was the hardtop. And I contacted the owner. I tried to, but they never answered me because it's in New Mexico, I believe. And so I was just wondering if maybe that was the same car, because it is here in the Southwest, and it might have been Arizona too, so close to Utah, southern Utah, where I'm from. I've never seen another one with the black C stripes on there. Maybe it's not the same car. I don't think it had the top stripes, but those could have been added later, so that's interesting. Here's another one with the 5-spoke GT wheels that have been chromed. That was not offered by Ford as far as I know. This is what the wheels would have looked like from Ford. I believe they were only painted in 96, so they wouldn't have been the brushed ones in 97 or 98. But anyway, here's one with 94, 95 GT wheels in black, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. We could look at all of these and just go on and on about them, but this one's pretty cool. The guy had said that he asked several times if the car was for sale, and he finally got the owner to sell the car to him, and he's cleaning it up and restoring it, so I'm glad that one's been saved. But can you imagine just finding one like that? And here's a pair of them sitting there, one coupe and one convertible, both with aftermarket headlights and wheels, but kind of cool to see those together. You can see the style bar on the other one. That was a convertible. And here's another convertible that's been sitting in a garage for a long time, but taken care of and loved by the owner. black wheels like Clyde's had too. This one has an aftermarket cowl hood and a Cobra front bumper, and they did not make any Cobras in this color. Although there were some Bob Bondurant Racing School Cobras that were later painted this color. I don't know if it's even tangerine orange, but they were usually white Cobras with saddle interior that were painted orange for the racing school. So that's not to be confused with these 96 tangerine orange Mustangs. And so here's another one. That one has the 94 style Cobra rear spoiler and the other style GT wheels. And here's one in another country. And I believe I talked to the owner of this car, and they said they would send me some more information and pictures, but I haven't heard from them yet. But pretty cool to see this very rare car in another country being loved and enjoyed. To me, it's like seeing an exotic Ferrari in another country. So to me, that's what it would be like. You know, you go over there and there's an imported car, and it's rare and neat. So a lot of cool other ones here. The owner's chosen to tint the tail lights and put some black Rovo wheels on, I believe is what they are. And just nice to see somebody enjoying it and out and about and daily driving. And that's what most of these cars were used for. Here it is, lowered with the Rovo wheels. And it looks good. You know, people have their own taste and they modify cars the way they like them. They chose to remove the spoiler. I like the original spoiler. I also think the Saleen spoiler looks really good on these. I bought one for my 97 GT, and I just think it's a really good look, but really cool to see. Any pictures I could find of these cars I enjoy seeing because they're very rare, and you're not going to see them just anywhere. So I've done a few stories about some other ones, some that have been wrecked and put back on the road too, so that's good. And I'll put this video in the playlist of those other videos, so if you like these, you can watch them. And but yeah, going through some of the SN95 pages, I'm able to find some pictures of these cars, and sometimes they're not titled as Tangerine Orange Mustang GT. You might just have to look for, you know, any post about any Mustang. They might not even mention the color, but then you'll see the pictures. And so it's really cool to see any pictures of these cars and see them like that. It'd be fun to own a car like this and drive it everywhere. All the Mustangs I've owned have been very special to me, and I think everybody who loves these cars just loves to have the car and get to enjoy it and go out and about and take pictures and have fun and make memories, and that's what these cars are all about. So in this picture, it was an earlier picture, you can see the wheel gap. The car hadn't been lowered yet, and so it's just kind of an interesting picture as the clear corner headlights as well. Like I said, a picture's worth 1,000 words. You can look at so many different things and talk about so many things, and it would take hours to go over all the details. Like this one, here's another kind of 94, 95 Cobra style rear spoiler that's black on it, and the wheels that were on it were the other GT style wheels. But you know, nice pictures. I love the taillights on these SN95 cars. Here's one with big and little drag pack. You know, it's wheels that are big in the back and skinnies in the front, and that looks pretty cool. Nice orange car. Here's one covered in snow, and that's just part of the details. You can look, this one has bullet wheels on it, and it has kind of a faded door handle. And here it is in the snow again, and some of these cars were just used as they should be. Everybody loves to enjoy and use their cars, and now they're rare, and you know, they don't seem to be super sought after and super collectible and super valuable, but they are rare, and I think they definitely have a place. And like in my case, they have a place in my heart where they're very special to me. So here's one that looks like it needed a new engine, and so they had started the process of pulling the engine out of the car, and they decided that they wanted to replace it with a Cobra engine. So here's a picture of the process, and this is common now with these cars getting so old. And you know, I have a friend who has one of these Tangerine Orange GTs approaching 500,000 miles, and so you know, things like this are inevitable. You know, you're going to need to replace an engine, and a lot of it will depend on how the previous owner took care of the car. But I like seeing the orange engine bay and the orange on the K member and everything there that makes it factory, you know, this color. So what a cool sight to see. You know, nice tangerine orange GT getting worked on. And again, I think it looks good with the bullet wheels. Those are some of my favorite wheels, and I think they go good on every color. So pretty cool to see tangerine orange GT with bullet wheels, and that might have been something I'd have considered if I had owned one of these. Here's one with chrome bullet wheels, convertible, black leather interior, and so I know the leather was more rare, I believe. This one looks like it's had a lot of work done, two-tone paint job, little orange trim around the roof. You can notice that the bumper and the quarter panel have had it smoothed out, maybe Bondo or filler, and all painted as one piece. Side exit exhaust, black wheels, so many things you can look at. Again, here's one with the chrome wheels. I think that's a pretty good look. Those wheels look really good on this car. It's my favorite set of GT wheels. And here's one that has 96 or 97 Cobra wheels on it. That looks pretty good. And the car just looks really good with tint on the windows, and it has a sticker on that back quarter window. And if you notice, the rear spoiler on this one is a 94-95 Cobra spoiler. If you look closely, you'll notice that it actually has a third brake light in it. And the interesting thing was 94-95 Cobras had a different trunk lid that did not have the third brake light in the trunk. It was only on the spoiler. So here you have kind of a double third brake light, one on the trunk and one on the spoiler, because this still has the GT V6 normal trunk, and which would be the same as 96-98 Cobras, you know, but in this case it has the spoiler from a 94-95 with the brake light on it. But if that was a 94-95 trunk lid, it would not have a third brake light on the trunk part. But these other pictures of the car were around, and there was another Mustang here in the foreground, but it's cool to see the Tangerine one in the back, and sometimes you only get a glimpse of these cars, so pretty cool to see. Here's the car covered in snow. It looks like it has Wyoming license plates, so up in the northern section of the United States, and it's got some snow on it, and driving around on the, you know, snowy roads and stuff. So it's just the way the car was used, you know. Pretty cool to see, though. It looks like it was taken care of and loved, and a car that they enjoyed. They've obviously taken some pictures of it, and they're on the SN95 page, so they like to share it. Here's one with the black top, and it could have been dyed black. I did talk about another one that was ordered with the black top in one of my other videos, so not very common on that. Most of them seem to have the white top, but pretty cool to see. This one was parked underneath a sign that says, "Are you orange enough? Apply today." So obviously they thought that was pretty cool and took a picture of that. Here we are again at night with the bright taillights and the orange paint. Looks really good together. This next one has a cowl hood and hood pins, and the 96-97 Cobra wheels again. Might even be the same car we looked at earlier, but with the cowl hood now. Here's another one with the wheels I like on these, and just a good, clean looking example. Here's one with the bullet wheels. Might have been the one we looked at earlier as well. No badges on the fenders yet. Maybe it's been repainted. Sometimes that's a telltale sign. There's another one, cloth seats and the 5-spoke wheels that I like a lot. And maybe that was also paint work done because it looked pretty good. Here's one in California. Looks really nice there. That's probably a really good condition one, you know, judging by it being a California car. And sometimes Northern California can be just as rough, but usually California cars are pretty clean. So this one's looking really good here. And here's one that's a Saleen, and I believe it is a Saleen one. And the owner of this car really liked it, and they had some pictures not only of it, but they also had another Saleen. So they had a picture of the two of them in the garage, and so one was white, and it looked like the older style engine, maybe the pushrod engine in that one. That's what it looks like to me. And then here's the GT. So here's another one with no rear spoiler. Could be the one we were looking at earlier. If you go back and look at the license plate, it might be, but maybe not. And here's one in Pennsylvania, so pretty good to see there. And just fun to see these anytime you come across any pictures of them. Like I said, out having fun. I've seen videos There's just a couple on YouTube of these cars, and one of them doing a big burnout and stuff. And sometimes it's hard to know whether these cars are original Tangerine cars or if they were painted that color, because some people just wanted to paint it orange, which is really cool. It's one of my favorite colors. Obviously, I have a competition orange Terminator Cobra, and I love orange on these, and so do a lot of people. And so you don't know when they've been repainted. I've seen a lot of them that I wondered if they were real, but they weren't. They had been painted that color, or maybe even a color that was similar. So here's a nice shot of the side view of this one, and then here's a convertible, and it has some stripes on it and stuff, but still cool to see. Clear corner markers and clear headlights, and it almost looks like that has saddle interior. It's hard to tell, but I believe I read through the post, and this really was what it said it was, and another black top. So tops can be changed. Maybe somebody's replaced one and they decided to go with a black one. I know the story of the one I did here in town. It was a white top and they dyed it black, and then the white started showing through again. It looked terrible. But here you can see they've added some stripes. A lot of people like to put black stripes on orange cars. Even in the competition orange registry, you'll see that. And it looks good. Black and orange looks good together. I mean, I don't prefer the stripes on a car like this. I think it's pretty neat the way it came, just factory. But, you know, some people really enjoy that. And this one looks like it has Saleen wheels on it now, and tinted taillights as well. So the top might be new. It does look like it's a newer top on there. But anyway, just wanted to share a bunch of these pictures and have this out just kind of in the fall time when I love looking at these cars. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.